Yeah, you're gonna hold it like that. What's up, guys? Hopefully, you guys are doing great. It is, what day is it today?
28th. Sunday.
28th. It's a Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Losing track. I'm working too many days. It feels like a weekday. But, anyways, guys, welcome. And we're in a different environment. We're outside at a park. We just went for a workout and we went to get some food. But I want to introduce, you guys probably seen her before, my wonderful client. Her name is Angela. She's been crushing it in my program. Been able to do so many amazing things. She's lost nearly 30 pounds. She's been incredible inside the community, helping the other members. And I could see an external change and also internal change with her. And she's also a really good friend as well. We just, like I said, went for lunch and went for a workout. But anyways, we're going to have a quick little chat today talking about fitness. We want to help you on your journey, provide you guys some value, and just talk about anything that you guys may be curious to know about with me, Angela. But anyways, welcome in.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about fitness first. I think a lot of people are curious to know Angela with, I guess this is a good question to ask you, but and there's a lot of birds here. What did you do? What are some habits that you had to change in order to go through this transformation? What do you think are like the biggest changes in terms of habits that allow you to lose this 27, 28 pounds over the last like half year?
Okay, so two habits. The first one was my attitude. The first one was I used to have a really stinky attitude towards fitness. I was very grumpy about it. That was honestly the first thing that had to go. And then the second habit that I changed was consistency. I think when I started off with you, I told you that I've lost weight before twice. I've lost like 20 to 30 pounds before. It wasn't something that was totally new to me, but the issue was keeping it off. And the problem before was that I wasn't staying consistent. I didn't stick to my workouts. I didn't stick to eating well, and they just didn't become really habits that lasted for life. It was just something that I thought I could do temporarily, and that didn't really work out for me before.
Okay. When you say attitude, can you tell us a little bit more?
So I would get really grumpy about fitness. Like I would just have a very sour outlook towards having to work out, right? Even, for example, oh, I have to go do this. It's 8 p.m. I don't want to go to the gym. Before I'd just be really like cranky about it. But now I'm more of the attitude like I get to work out. I've had a lot of changes happen in my life. My dad's not the most mobile, not the most healthy because he doesn't put these things into practice. And I've also, through volunteering, met a lot of children who are sick or they're disabled. And it just gave me a different outlook on what I get to do. So that really turned it around for me.
You see, that's why I like to conversate with Angela because she has that perseverance. Even though there's difficulty, she still gets things done. The most important things done. So that's great, Angela. Kudos to you. All right. So I can hear it's like attitude and consistency. Let's see here. What if someone is struggling with consistency, right? Because like I would talk with a lot of people, and a lot of people would say their number one struggle is consistency. What's your advice for them?
Did you see me jump up when you said that?
Exciting, what the question?
My advice is stop thinking so much. Stop thinking about it. Stop trying to plan. Stop trying to have the perfect schedule. Go out and do your workout and eat well for the day. Because it's happened to me too, where I get into like a very negative thought spiral. And then I sit on my bed and I think I did all these things wrong, or I can't do this. I don't like this. The only difference that has really changed for me is instead of doing that, I'll say, okay, I get to complain for 5 minutes and then I have to go do my workout.
I like that. So it sounds like taking action, but also like baby steps
Yes.
into the action, right? And then letting that build up.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. You have experience, Angela, like with working out. I know you had like a professional help before, but
Yeah.
what makes this time different? And why do you feel like you really like the program? Why do you really feel like this system is really working out for you? What do you think are like the biggest changes?
So a big change for me, and part of the reason I like working out with you, is you're not you're not trying to peddle me bullshit. Adrian's not going to tell you to do anything crazy. You don't have to do 50 jumping jacks and 50 squats and all these crazy things. The methods to everything, the systems, the schedules, it's all built to fit into your life. He's not asking you to train for the Olympics or for a bodybuilding competition or anything like that. And they're also not workouts that you're totally gonna hate. Remember when you put walking lunges in my, he put walking lunges in my plan and I don't like them and then he took them out. So that means I'll actually show up and do my leg days, right? So it's just stuff that you can actually do in your day to day.
Yep. What were you doing before to lose weight? Before you met me?
Not being consistent. The first time I lost weight, I lost a lot because I actually played flag football. And I lost a lot just from practices. There were 6 a.m. practices. I was eating better because I felt motivated to do well in the sport. But then as soon as I kind of stopped playing and stopped being active, the weight came on, but it was a little bit slow. And then the second time, I was working out with a trainer at a big box gym, and she was actually preparing to do a bikini competition. So I was just kind of following what she was doing, but I think I picked up. I don't want to call them bad habits. They were bad habits for me. They were good habits for what she was training to do, be in a competition, but they weren't good habits for Angela to have in her everyday life.
All right. Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway from that is making sure you do something that's aligned with you, something that's manageable with your schedule, and that's what worked out for Angela. Keep it in mind, like she actually came from having the history of working with trainers and doing things herself. But I think the alignment is the key this time around, and that's why she's been able to lose weight and actually keep it off as well. Nice. Okay. Let's see. So, curious to know, like, what are your, you already achieved quite a bit, and we're going to continue achieving. Like, why is this time more like a lifestyle compared to before? And do you feel like this is something that you can continue doing? Do you feel like you can maintain your progress compared to before? Do you feel like it's going to be sustainable? Just like to hear a little bit more on like the future and sustainability wise.
So I'll answer the second part first. It is something that I can continue to maintain for the future, for the rest of my life, really, because it's a lifestyle. Sorry, what was the first question again?
First one is, what are your future goals? Like, you're very close to your goal right now.
So future goals for me is consistency, and something that's changed for me, I think, this time around versus the first couple times that I've lost weight, or the few times I've lost weight, is truthfully age. I'm turning 29 in a month or so, 2 months. And there's just changes that happen as you age. In our workout, I was telling Adrian that now these workouts feel nice because I'm stretching my body from working an office job, right? Like lunges feel really great on my hips, and upper body movements feel really great on my shoulder that's been sore sometimes. So I feel like it's not even a choice. I feel like I have to feel better, because honestly, not moving was making me feel sick, and I don't think that was very healthy.
Can you say that again? So, like, not having this as an option, it's like it's a mandate. Like, not
Yeah,
having this as a choice.
it's not. It's a non-negotiable for me to move, because I'm hitting a point now. And the thing is, I'm not even old. Like, I'm still young, right? But just as a result of working a lot, or like I work an office desk job, my body hurts from sitting all the time. Like, really it does. And it's changed in the past 6 years. And I feel like even working out for 6-7 months has reversed a lot of that pain. So imagine, I want to be strong when I'm 65, not frail and weak, right?
I think that's really important. Not just looking at it like improving body composition, but just like general health. Like, if we sit down for too long, we're going to get more stiff. We're going to lose mobility, and not just like body composition, but being pain free, being able to like live a long life, having longevity. And I think that's really key from what Angela said. Okay. Let's get into the mindset stuff. I know we like to talk about this, but one thing that Angela, like, I would have really good conversations with Angela, because she has a really good perspective with everything, like a very positive perspective, really good mindset towards everything. How important is mindset towards weight loss?
I think mindset's everything. And it sounds really corny, and sometimes I do feel bad when you ask me for like fitness tips to give to other people, because I feel like I'm always like, it's your attitude, it's your mindset, but it really is. I think Adrian and I talk a lot about accountability, and the thing is, even if you decide like, hey, I want to go on my fitness journey, where does that start first? It's your mind, right? That's why I'm so passionate about it. And I've done some retreats, I've done some seminars, some self-help, personal development things, and they really, again, changed my life, turned things around. You get to decide how you feel, right? You get to decide, I want to go do this workout and take care of my body, or you get to decide, I want to go do this workout and I hate this stuff. What would you rather do? Would you rather be miserable about it, or happy about it? It's totally up to you.
I like that. And I think it's important to note that we're all going to have bad days, we're going to have bad weeks, but we can only ourselves can decide if we want to have that carry over into like the rest of our life. So if you're listening to this and you maybe are struggling on your journey and you feel like your mindset is not the right place, just like Angela, like when she started with me, she knew she had to make changes, right? And she knew she had to build more of a positive mindset, even more positive of a mindset. So speaking of and touching on this, what if someone's listening to this and they're wondering like, hey, I just feel like I'm so stuck with everything. It's really shitty. I'm not happy. I can't help but not think negative, Angela. Like, how do you reverse that situation? Like, imagine someone's been like, they gain 20 pounds, gain 30 pounds. They're just not happy. And they just feel like it's hard not to have a negative mindset because they've been so like regressed with everything. Like, what would you recommend for these individuals?
Okay. I think the simplest answer to this, there's a whole complex answer of, I think people should be going to therapy, digging into their childhood, like all that stuff's very valid. But my quick answer is pick one thing and go with it. Just pick one thing. If that's, I'm going to go for a 15-minute walk every day in the morning, pick that. If it's, I'm going to drink 2 to 3 liters of water, do that. Choose one small, simple thing that you can achieve. Just take the first baby step, and then you just keep going. Don't expect yourself to go really fast, but it's like, even if you just pick one small thing and run with it, you'll start to respect yourself more because you're building your self-discipline. I think, forget the mindset stuff, like forget even being negative or whatever, just pick one thing, go with it, and I promise you'll start to become happier and prouder of yourself the more disciplined you are.
I like that. Yeah. And just to add on that, there's a principle called the do something principle, right? And what that means is you got to take some kind of movement or do some kind of action first, and then motivation is going to come afterwards. It's the same idea with like mindset, motivation and mindset. Like, we have to do something and be active, even if it's a small step. And then from there, that's where our mindset starts to develop, right? Because we never can have, the right mindset, the right motivation fall in our lap, and then we take massive amounts of action. That's not how it works. It's like, actually, when you really don't want to do it, but you have to, you still do it. You take the first step, right? You do something beneficial for yourself. And then from there, it builds up. You start to build up more confidence. You start to see more results. You start to think more positively. You get compliments. You get all these things, and that's going to help you. Just know, if you're listening to this, like, you are the determinant of having a bad day turn to a bad week, turn to a bad month, a bad year. You are the determinant of it. You can change that any day that you want, because we're all going to have bad days and they're not going to last forever. If you have a perspective that they're not going to last forever, you will break out of it. And the universe is going to give you what you're looking for. Wherever focus goes, energy flows, right? So, hopefully that was helpful to you guys from Angela and also myself. But, all right.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I remember, I really liked your post about when you were young, and like you shared that photo of yourself with a double chin, because I was like, I can relate. But I also had kind of a little bit similar of a story of, I remember being 15, it's like grade 10, I went to the weight room for the first time, and I was like, this is so fun, because I wasn't a fast runner, I wasn't good at soccer, I wasn't good at basketball, but you know what I was good at? The weight rooms. Okay, yeah. I'm curious, like, what got you excited there? I always meant to ask, but I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, so my journey actually started, like, it was in around like grade 10, and it was actually being introduced to the weight room during like PE class, and my friends actually started getting more into it, and that's how it kind of came onto me. Um, I never really actually started by myself. It was more so like friends were working out, and it's just like having that community. But how did it grow onto me when it comes to fitness? Um, Let me think back. It's some time ago. It's been like 12, 13 years of working out. Like, let me think. Sorry, guys. I got to go back deep in my memory. So, how it started actually, and how I grew the passion. I know this is really, cliche to say, but I started to see like changes in my body. It wasn't immediate because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But then I did see changes within like, doing it for after several weeks, a month. I noticed that it was fun to get a little bit stronger. Obviously, I had terrible form. I had no clue what I was doing. But it was actually it was very satisfying to see that, it's getting easier. I'm progressing, right? And I think that was a part that was, you can kind of say it was a little bit addicting for me. Um, and I'll be honest, another reason, it just popped in my mind. It was because like, it's very competitive when you're, a teen and you're a guy and other guys are trying to get jacked and trying to get strong. I got motivated from other guys that have been working out longer than me and they got into really good shape. I think that was another motivation for me. The last one, it's more so like running away from the pain. I was struggling with my weight. I was overweight and I was skinny, and then I felt like this is like the opportunity for me to actually, be able to achieve the body that I wanted. I always wanted to look like those guys on like WWE, like the wrestlers. So I was like, okay, this is like my best chance of, getting towards there. So yeah, I know that was a little long-winded answer, but that's pretty much how I got into it and how I grew into it.
I just had another thought come to my mind too. It was because just as I was sharing and also listening to Adrian, I wasn't an athletic kid. Were you?
I was okay.
I wasn't. Like, I wasn't, like volleyball, I'd serve the ball well, but I wasn't great at like jumping up and hitting and spiking and stuff. So I always had this limiting belief that I wasn't athletic. And because I wasn't athletic, I can't be fit. I can't be in shape because I'm not naturally good at sports, even though the pros have 10,000 hours. But the cool thing about weightlifting is you don't have to be athletic. You don't have to have you don't have to naturally be a great runner or swimmer or anything like that. You could literally just pick up dumbbells and progress over time, and it's really just you versus you. Like, you can make it competitive with other people, but that's something that I just personally like about working out.
Yep. Nice. That's why I brought Angela here and like we're having this conversation just to let you guys know this is all non-scripted. Like, she's doing an amazing job, like better than me. Like, even for me, I had to pause on the last question she asked me. So yeah, Angela, you're doing amazing. Like, you're really good at speaking and doing these things. Yeah, guys, but this is not scripted. Like, these questions are literally on the top of our minds. But I really like that tip from Angela. Hopefully you guys found value in that because that is so true. We can always compare with someone that's more athletic, has better genetics, and so forth, right? But understand this, like the beautiful thing about training is it doesn't actually matter where you start. It matters where you end. You could be starting with not good genetics, not being athletic, but like Angela said, like the gym doesn't discriminate, right? Like, you can work out if you're not athletic. Like, there's no rules or anything like that. And there's no competition with other people. Actually, it's only competition with yourself. So I really like what she mentioned, and that's actually a good reminder for you guys, right? No, that was really good. Do you have any other questions for me?
Questions for you. Let me think. Should I keep them fitness related?
Anything you like.
No. Now I'm starting. Now I'm starting to blank. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Maybe I think some people might be curious about like my own story and like what I've done.
Adrian's so interesting. I don't know where to start.
Clearly, there's no questions.
It's because I bother him so much and I ask him so many questions already. But I mean, I guess something that I'm a little bit curious about with you, because I wasn't clear in the beginning. So something that always spoke to me was, and I think I shared with you, that you work with like professional women, right? So on my mind, I was like, okay, he gets it. Like, I'm busy. And not just does he understand that I'm busy and he gets it, he knows that there's like a different mindset with professional women, and maybe we're more masculine sometimes in the mind, but like, how do you balance your work schedule? Because I didn't realize how much you work.
Yep. That's a great question. And actually, a part of the reason why, if you guys are wondering why I decided to actually work with this niche, is because I can relate in a lot of ways. Like Angela knows, like I'm a workaholic. Like even on weekends, like yesterday, like working many long hours. That's why I want to provide like tactical advice on what worked for me as like a busy entrepreneur and how I got in shape, right? And continually to improve my own fitness as well. Okay, so how do I balance it? First off, I want to say in preface that it's not going to be rainbows and sunshines. It's not going to be easy. Okay, I want to just let you guys know about that. Like, if you guys are wondering about my program or anything, I'm going to let you know it's not like a walk in the park. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, in terms of how to balance things, there's a lot of concepts I came up with. Angela probably knows, like playing offense, playing defense, right? You know, eating the frog. So essentially, what these mean is managing your time better. Like eating the frog, for example, is like doing things first thing in the morning, right? So being able to do that has helped me a lot. I went over a training about this like the previous week, just like finding ways to make it more efficient. Guys, like there's air fryers, there's like walking pads, there's a lot of things that can make your journey a lot more easy. It's just your willingness to actually get these things and make it easier for yourself. Because I'll tell you this, if you guys don't have an air fryer, for example, you can spend, like when I used to cook my chicken, it'll take me 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I
20
can
minutes to heat up the oven.
Exactly 20 minutes to heat up the oven. You heard from Angela, right? I kid you not, like I can cook my chicken in like less than 15 minutes, like a whole batch for 3-4 good days. Sorry guys, a little bit of a turbulence there. But yeah, gadgets has helped me a lot. Just like the time management. And you know what, like Angela just said, like attitude. We're here to help you guys. We want to tell you guys what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. The truth is, the number one thing is if you want it bad enough, you want to actually make a change with your fitness or any kind of goal that you have, you'll do whatever it takes if you have the will. So like I know you do say like you want to lose weight, you want to like achieve these things, but how bad do you actually want it? Right? And how important is it for you? Because it's not only for you, it's also if you have kids, your kids are relying on you. Well, we were talking about that earlier, Angela. You know, like your partner relies on you, you know, your future you relies on you. So if you have will, there's always a way. Obviously, like in the program, I show my clients like these things that work for me, but I can go on and on. There's more concepts as well. But I think the first thing actually, like what Angela said, is number one is attitude. You got to have the attitude to change things, to learn. That's number one. And then, you know, tactical ways to save you some time is what has worked for me in my journey.
I actually just had a thought too, and I just want to share. And I guess I'm sharing like to women, right? Because the thing is, most likely, if you're watching this, you're a woman, probably in and around my age. You have a career, maybe a husband or wife, kids, and a very, very busy life. But I just want anybody watching or listening, like, just think about when's the last time you really poured into your cup, right? And I don't mean going to Starbucks or going to the mall or going to Target and getting cute stuff. I like to do it too. But like, when's the last time you really took care of yourself, right? Because I find we spend, you know, and this was a big part of my journey the past couple of years, you spend so much time worrying about your partner or your work and all these things. I don't have kids, but I know a lot of you guys do. I'm going to keep talking. When's the last time you really looked in the mirror and did something just for you, right? Like, I'm not even just trying to push anybody to work with Adrian, but it's just, can you really look in the mirror and be honest with yourself and think like, I take care of myself, and what kind of example does that set for the people around you?
For sure. I think that was a powerful way to end things. And it's true, right? Like you got to pour into your own cup first before you can pour into other people's cups. It's good to be selfless, but it's also a disservice for the other people when you are not at your best. That's also a good way to think about it. And it's very true. And it's very, very true. Like the captain of a ship, you know, the leader of an army, whatever it is, the queen, the king, they need to be at their best. How can you lead other people if you can't lead yourself? Right? And I think a lot of us, and I understand, right? Like you get caught up with life gets really busy, family, work, etc. Busy and everything. But you guys just got to put a flag in the sand at some point, because like, how can you, and I talked about this in my story yesterday, how can you allow yourself to, you know, continue gaining weight? How can you let yourself continue just to tell your friends, tell people, I feel bad about myself, I'm not, and you don't do anything about it.
Or wait until it's like you get sick,
and then you get sick, and then you do something, and it's going to be a lot more expensive. It's going to be something dangerous, a lot of side effects. Like, you only got one life, and like, we always have our ups and downs, and we will have ebbs and flows. We're going to be knocked down at times, whatever, but you can't stay down for the rest of your life. We're going to wrap it up here. I think, this is about 25 minutes. It was a great conversation. Angela, do you have any final messages for the people?
Final messages. I guess I just want to expand on what Adrian said. And I'm going to share even more because I know people that have gotten sick. I know people that have gotten cancer. My dad's kidneys were failing last year. And this is all because you don't manage your stress and you don't manage your health. And I say it because I genuinely care about people. Like, don't wait until it becomes the last moment, right? Like, I didn't start talking to Adrian until I'm like, my hip hurts for like 2 years. Yep. All it took was some leg workouts to fix it, right? So exactly. just don't wait until it's too late, right? Because you never know what can change.
Love it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Angela, especially you, thank you for coming out. It's always great to conversate with you, talk about this, talk about goals, your success. Guys, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, if you guys like to hear more about how I can help you, you guys can send me a DM and say Tone. But besides from that, actually, apologies for the little bit of a turbulence with the tripod. Angela's right. I gotta get a new tripod here. Yeah. It's just more so this one is just like the time to get it. But I know. But hopefully that was not too distracting for you guys. But overall, I know you guys got value from this. Okay, you guys got inspiration. Go get after it, guys. Like Angela said, I think the biggest thing, that's why I really like to talk about like the mindset and everything. Whether it starts with you. My biggest takeaway, just with this conversation with Angela, is like, it starts with you. It starts with your attitude. You got to bet on yourself. You got to pour into your own cup first. Okay, everything starts from you, and everything starts within you first. Okay. Besides from that, guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.